I want to move on to a particular subject that's near and dear and should be to all of us. Because more NBA news, it's important to bring up that Memphis Grizzlies guard Ja Morant has returned from his early season suspension. He missed the first 25 games of the season while suspended for the several instances of brandishing a gun in public over the last few months. Last week, Morant addressed his time away and said that he learned about himself during therapy and revealed he had not talked to other NBA players outside of his teammates while sitting out for the season. Let's listen to what Ja Morant had to say here.
It's been, a process. Obviously I wouldn't say, I regret it, but I'm, not happy that it happened. But I'm also, grateful that, I had this opportunity to, like you said, reflect and do things that, I felt like was not only needed for me, but, for my family, as well, for us to, realize pretty much, what's all at stake, ways, we can, keep each other happy and, how we just, have each other's back. I feel like we obviously been close before, but we came together, even more, during this process. But like I said earlier, I can't say I sit up here and regret it because in the end, I feel like it made me better.
That remains to be seen. So is whether or not Ja Morant is a role model. I would tell you this. I think the brother's heart's in the right place. I think one of the things we have to take into consideration is the element from which players come from. It's pretty hard to disassociate yourself from people who were there for you when you had nothing. It's real easy for the world to look at these young players and say, separate yourself, distance yourself, blah, 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 from the people who were there with you, who came up with you. No, they weren't on the basketball court with you. No, they didn't dribble a basketball or shoot a jump shot or a dunk for you. But what they were able to do for you is give you a cushion and provide you the kind of cocoon that insulated you from some of the outside noise that would have derailed you from what you were ultimately aiming to accomplish. So there's a level of sensitivity that we all need to have towards Ja Morant finding himself in the precarious situations he found himself in. Fair enough. Fair enough. The flip side to it, however, is that Ja Morant, by all accounts, lost more than $7.6 million in salary, lost a grand total of about $40 million when you take into account endorsement deals that went by the wayside because of him being in a strip club 1 minute flashing a gun that got him suspended for 8 games. And then after that, following that up with one of his friends literally putting him on Instagram Live where it looked like he was flashing another gun. That's in violation of no laws in the state of Tennessee or various other states in this union, but it is in violation of the NBA bylaws, which have something to do with the money that you get paid on a day-to-day basis, on a game-to-game basis. So we need to understand that. And in the process of doing so, we need to take a moment to really reflect on Ja Morant and the trouble that he found himself in, to a lesser degree and to a different degree, the kind of trouble that Draymond Green has found himself in, where he's now in counseling because of the Rudy Gobert choke, and then ultimately slapping Yusuf Nurkic on the left side of his face and what have you. Here's the deal. Once upon a time, they were talking about Draymond Green being the successor to Charles Barkley. Now you're wondering what the hell he's going to be doing with his life in the event that none of those opportunities present themselves. Do I think it's a death sentence what happened to Draymond Green as it pertains to his career aspirations? No, I do not. But I think it will be if he comes back and no change is seen. Ja Morant, is he going to derail his aspirations? No, not if he's not seen on video and all of this other stuff, but what if he is? That can't happen again. He can't find himself in a situation where he is being associated with firearms. Not as long as he's playing in the NBA. And that doesn't just go for him, it goes for the company he keeps. You can't be allegedly in the tunnels of an arena with a red laser purportedly emanating from a gun aimed at the opposing team's personnel. You can't have friends and family members about to get into fights with people. You can't have family members getting into situations at a mall where ultimately you come and you get involved and allegedly you're threatening mall security folks and things of that nature. That cannot happen any longer. Ja Morant is a superstar, but with being a superstar comes super responsibilities. He doesn't like it. Most of us don't like it. Hell, in the media industry, as well known as I am, I don't like it. There are things that I wish I could do, and I didn't have to worry about cameras looking at me and all of this other stuff. Nothing illegal. Nothing illegal. But nevertheless, I may not want everybody knowing my business. Well, guess what? You just can't do those things anymore. Just can't. And that's what Ja Morant has to accept. You can't be this person with this maverick mentality. I want to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, with whomever I damn well please, but can I get some of your money? It doesn't work that way in the real world. In the real world, you have to capitulate to some things for the greater good. I may want to go to a strip club. I may want to mess with a porn star. I may want to do this or do that. But guess what? That's not a good look for the people that are paying me 30, 35, 40 million a year. So is the porn star, is the strip club, all my boys with their guns and everything, is that worth these dollars? The answer is no. The answer is no. You know it, they know it, everybody knows it. It's about the paper. The paper ain't about everything, but what you're doing is about that paper, because you didn't aspire to go to the NBA so you could play basketball for free. You wanted to get paid. So get paid. And if it calls for you to squash or derail some of the habits that you once had, so be it. Develop new ones. You can afford it. You can certainly afford it.